The announcers kept mentioning how, in spite of all their athletic achievements, Australia, where Adam Scott is from, had never won a Masters, and how all their hopes and expectations rested on young Adam Scott. Last Sunday afternoon, I watched Adam Scott contend for his homeland. I watched him take on that mantle and become a competitor right to the end. I believe God has called each of us here today to contend for the faith in the same determined way that Adam Scott contended for the green jacket on Sunday. The goal is to preserve the faith for another generation and for us. The problem is we don't see the need for urgency to contend for the faith. We tend to think it's all good. There's no threat. We sit back and relax. We chill out because we think there's no battle to fight. We say to ourselves, we belong to a sound denomination, sound churches. That doesn't mean we go out looking for a fight, but like the disciples in the garden, we got to be praying and watching that we fall not into temptation rather than sleeping because we think there's no danger in the garden. That's why I say we must contend for the faith. Why? Because two reasons. False teachers creep into the community of faith. That's false teachers creep into the community of faith, and we must contend for the faith because the gospel is exceedingly precious for the community of faith. First, false teachers creeping into the community of faith. The reason for Jude writing is that according to verse 4, if you look, read it with me, for certain people have crept in unnoticed. Certain people have crept in to the community of faith to whom he is writing. These people are what he calls in verse 4, ungodly people. According to one commentary, Jude was speaking about false libertine and Gnostic teachers. Another commentary reminds us that the contention is not with unbelievers on the outside, but with false teachers on the inside. 2 Peter, which is very closely related to Jude, says that these are the kind of people who are false teachers bringing in destructive heresies. Galatians says they are false brothers who have crept in to spy out the freedom that we have in Christ Jesus, to bring them back into slavery. Two things characterize these people. They pervert grace and they deny Christ. First, they pervert grace. The way Jude says it, if you look at verse 4, they pervert the